Well, we're back on our Mercedes. I'm going to be honest with you. This hood is total trash. That's all it is. If I can get this thing back into usable shape, it's going to be a miracle. This car has been nothing but a pain in my ass, a thorn in my big toe ever since it got here. I thought I was on the downhill slide when I got to the bodywork, but then when we looked at the bodywork and we started doing the bodywork, we found that major bodywork was expected. I looked for a quarter panel, the right-hand quarter panel for this car for over 2 years. I looked in Germany, I looked in eBay, I looked everywhere worldwide to find one of these, and I couldn't find one anywhere. So we ended up putting the patch panel on the bottom down there. Rocker panels were replaced, floor panels were replaced. I mean, you've seen the video set, you know what's going on here. The deck lid isn't in any better shape than the trunk. Now, I believe the reason the deck lid is trash is because of the people that sandblasted the car. Did I say sandblast? Yes, I did say sandblast. And the reason we had this car sandblasted is because the people that were supposed to blast it were supposed to do the dustless blasting. But they came over to my shop and said, we suggest we don't do dustless blasting. Let's do this instead. We guarantee that it'll come out the same. Well, it didn't come out the same. It didn't come out the same. Believe it or not, after having this car right here dustless blasted, dustless blasting is a lot better and a lot more durable and a lot more safe than sandblasting. Now, I used to get everything soda blasted, but the problem we have with soda blasting is it's pretty much deteriorated and gone. The history of soda blasting is basically history. Nobody does it anymore, and if you want to get it done, it's very expensive now because the price of soda has gone sky high, and it's just outrageous. Stripping a car by hand, let's talk about that. We're going to strip this car by hand. With today's manufactured aircraft stripper, no way. It would take 29 gallons of stripper to strip this car by hand using the product that is made in today's society. Today's EPA rules and regulations say you aren't stripping that car by hand. We control you, and we're telling you no. We are going to make the stripper so weak that you can't even strip your fingernail polish off of your finger. That's the situation you have. So you got to rely on now to get whatever you can get done. They guaranteed that it wouldn't warp the panels. And then the owner, he decided that he wanted the hood and the trunk sandblasted inside and out. I furiously and profusively told him, no, don't do that. If you do that, then you are going to have chances of warpage. Well, being the clown act that he is, the hard-headed, hard-nosed, I don't give a fuck what you say, even though you're the professional guy and I should be listening to you, but you know what? It's my car and I'll do what I want guy, okay, decides to force the sandblasting upon the vehicle and basically ruin the hood and the trunk into a condition worse than it already was. Because when you sandblast the outside of the hood, hey, that's great. Use a very low pressure and a very fine sand. Now, they call it glass beads, okay? Can I go ahead and say something? Glass bead is fucking sand. Hello! So, besides the damage that was already on the hood, we have serious warpage throughout. Very bad. Like the quarter panel, I'm going to go ahead and tell you about the hood. I have looked for a hood high and low for this car, all the way into Germany and Poland and around the world. Can't even find it. This is a German issue '76 Mercedes. The hood on this is very hard to find. If it was an American version, there's 10 million of those hoods. The American version is wider. It's a wider hood. The grill is a wider grill. Everything's a little bit wider, so an American hood doesn't fit on this car. All right? And when I say wider, I'm not talking from fender to fender. I'm talking the opening down here where the grill is and the bumper and the headlights. So the German version is different than the American version. We got a lot of damage on this thing. I'm going to go ahead and proceed to start taking the damage out. We're not going to watch this thing through the whole video, but we're going to see what's going to happen as I'm pulling it out. One more thing, and I'll have to redo it. I've already painted the back side of the hood. Now, the owner of the vehicle, Mr. Majestic, claims that there's a pad that goes on the back of the hood, which I already knew that. But this hood does not have any structure inside it. And when I'm saying structure, you can see that there is no inner structure. This is not a double wall hood. So any type of damage that you could cause to this hood is going to warp it, dent it, or crease it. And this is the type of action that you run into when you restore a car like this. When you're restoring a car like this, you better be damn sure that you are dedicated 100% to finish this car out. Because if you're in business to do this type of work and you don't finish this car, your name of your shop is going to go south. It is going to go down in the ground and you are going to be called a loser. I'm just letting you know.
Welcome to D.I.Y. Automotive School with my friend Pete and Minnie, the body shop girl. It's everything you need to know about cars and more.
So we got a lot of warpage in this area right here. This is pretty tight, but this side's pretty warped. And then another situation is it's got a lot of dips going on all the way from here over to there. And I think that if I can stretch this back out, it's going to actually stretch this out to give us some action where we can actually go ahead and map ourselves out a situation that'll let us repair this hood properly. So before we get going, I just want to show you the damage caused to this hood. And you can see it goes all the way down. All right, look at here. You see that? There it is, right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take my dip puller and we're going to see what happens as we attempt to get this thing straight. So I'm going to start right here in the big area and then work my way out. Right there. Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. You can thank the sandblasters for this fucking action. You hear what I'm saying?
Yep.
This is still right there. So, what we're doing is stretching the hood back out. We got a big section right here that is caved in, and I've used my dent puller to the extreme that it won't work anymore. So we are now relying on heat. Heat and water to fix the problem. All because the sandblaster decided to do the job shitty. You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
And the main thing we're trying to get out here is the tin canning. And it looks like we got it. There's a little bit in this area, but I don't see where it could be coming from. I've been working on this hood for, I got at least 16 hours in it now. 16 hours. Here's another one right here. And I think if we get this one here, it should be okay. Here. So, we're using heat and water to stretch this thing out. Okay.
And that's basically what? To get rid of the tin canning problem?
Well, we had a dip that went like this, bigger than my hand.
Oh.
Okay? And I was using my dent puller, and anywhere that I pulled with my dent puller, it wasn't doing anything. So that means that this was tin canned and warped.
Ah.
Okay? From the pressure of sandblasting this one, it stretched the metal out. So we had to shrink it back down. So what happens is when you do that, what happens is you got two things that can go. It can go south or it can go north. South being bad, north being good. Does that make sense, Minnie?
Yeah.
Doing this, there's no structure on the back, it's just a piece of sheet metal. Okay? I think we're going to stop right there. We're going to go ahead and finish it out. Well, this is good, but it's all leading into this. Look at this. You see what's going on? Huh?
Yeah.
Jesus. What a joke. This is a real fucking joke. Wow. Okay, back on the Mercedes we go. We've been working on this hood for about 17 hours, 16, 17 hours. I got to add it up. But that's the situation we have. And now you know why we're calling it the Nightmare. Well, you're basically looking at it like I'm looking at it. We straightened the hood out, we hammered, dollied, we pulled dents out, we heat treated it, we shrunk it, we hammered it, we quenched it. We've done everything we can. Now I've skimmed this hood 3 times, skimmed it 3 times. This will be my 4th go around, and I can feel right in here, it feels really, really uneven. So I'm going to take my, basically what you're looking at is we're going to be covering this whole hood. Okay, this is going to be one hell of a Bondo job here. The owner didn't want to listen to my friend Pete. He wanted to take it upon himself and have the hood sandblasted. I told him not to do that. I told him that. And you see the outcome. So what you're looking at is probably the last, yeah, that feels good right there. All right, that's the last sweep that we're going to do. The next thing we're going to do on that hood is we're going to go ahead and put 3 coats of polyester primer. Something my friend Pete doesn't like, but this son of a bitch here needs it. So you think the worst is over, right? You think, well, he's got the hood done. Now all the bodywork's done. No, you're wrong. You're wrong. Let's go look at the trunk. Because the same thing that he did to the hood, he did to the trunk. And I specifically told him, do not do that. Do not do that. Do not do that. Do not fucking do that. You shouldn't do that. But as normal, he didn't listen to my friend Pete. So now, what we got is warpage that I've already repaired. And there's a spot right there, and I don't think we're going to have enough on this sling to get it. We're going to try. I told him not to. I told him not to do it. But he didn't care. He didn't care. He wanted it done. Now, we can possibly find the deck lid. That can possibly be found. But the owner said, no, I want to fix that. I want that one on there, fix it. And if I don't like it later, then I'll change it. Then I'll change it. So that's basically where we're at, restoring our Mercedes. You notice up here in the corner, I got to block sand that out. And then I believe all the body work on the body itself is done. Once I get that blocked out, bam, I got to finish the trunk. We got to get the deck lid. I'm going to go ahead and put polyester primer on this as well. The body work won't be done until after we put the polyester primer on it, and then after we block sand that out and see if it came out okay. So I'm going to say this one more time, and I've been saying this throughout the video set. To do a makeover, a restoration, a complete total job like you're watching me do right here is not for a beginner. It's not for the faint at heart. It's not for somebody that's going to start something and quit. This is a major, major, major restoration job. What you're looking at here on the hood is preposterous. It's obliviously out of the question to even look at that. It's pathetic. I'm embarrassed to show people this, to be honest with you. I'm embarrassed. But when you can't find the parts you need, or the owner doesn't do what you ask him to do, this is the situation you have. This is what happens right here. So if you have an old, rotted out, rusted out, classic antique car sitting in your backyard and you're thinking to yourself one day you're going to restore it, don't do it. Because you will lose your ass, you will waste your money, and it won't be worth the trouble or the hassle of the headaches and the nightmares that not just yourself, but your spouse and everybody around you will go through. And if you are going to do that job, do not start on it and let it sit in your garage for 20 years, tinker-toying around with it. Because that is what this turns out to be if a guy like me isn't doing the job for you.
Thanks for watching D.I.Y. Automotive School. Classes don't stop till you know everything.